Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions? You looking for beard oils? But unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, B-O-T-T-U, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us here on another Tuesday night of Unfiltered Sports. Today, no maybes, no essays. You either take it or you leave it. Focus of today is to make quick and definitive calls on bold sports. Meaning, what's your hot take on the NBA All Star Weekend? What's your hot take on the NBA in general as we gear towards the playoffs, right? What's your hot take on the NHL? We got scenarios being put into action. We got player comparisons. We got trades. Excuse me. We got contracts. We got rankings. We got, just hypothetical situations that will put, you know, each team into to see where they at, where they are they really that team to really talk about. No fence sitting, no PR, all hot take answers here on Unfiltered Sports. So I want to first thank you all for joining in again. Thank you for jumping in the chat. Thank you for just being a part of Unfiltered Sports and on uh, Dogs Basketball YouTube channel on OG Network as well. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys for just supporting us every single week and every single day. Um, big win for us. This past Sunday, we had played a game and we won 141 to 123. And then, we just jumped right into this week's game up in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. So I'm looking forward to that game as well. So what we're going to do, right, is we're going to look at some scenarios here, right? So when we look at these scenarios, before we even jump into scenarios, let's jump into the NBA All-Star Weekend. What are your thoughts on this NBA All-Star Weekend? Like, was it was the NBA All-Star Weekend what you expected? Did it meet your standards? Was it entertaining enough? Was it engaging enough? See, for me, um, the dunk contest. I mean, I couldn't get into the dunk contest. It wasn't just my cup of tea this year at all. Um, when we look at the 3-point shootout, I didn't watch the 3-point shootout, but I heard it was over like that. Dame killed it, and he didn't even play a single game this year. So that tells you a lot about the 3-point shootout in itself. We look at the Rise of Star Challenge and how BJ Edgecombe took over, and not once but twice did he close out the game. So it was really interesting to kind of see um, those entertaining games and situations that we are events that we got to watch this past week. The other one was the actual All-Star game in itself. I really just don't like the style that the NBA is putting the All-Star weekend. The skills competition was one of the things that I grew up watching. I think they should bring that back. I think that the other one was the actual All Star game in itself, playing it the East versus West to determine, who's the better, side, the East or the West, and kind of just play like an actual game. No, not everybody just trying to shoot from the logo. Actually playing a basketball game and actually getting the crowd involved by playing a legit basketball game and not standing around trying to lay on the ground and let people dunk the ball and all this other crazy stuff. Like, yes, that's entertaining for some people, but when people pay thousands of dollars to stand in the nosebleed section, I think it's more like you have to give them more for their buck. And what we saw this past week, I don't think was really a good bang for our buck at all. Um, I think it was interesting to see that Anthony Edwards did win the Mamba MVP award, which was pretty decent. But we got to look at bigger picture here and see as the whole competition went on who deserved it. And so you as the fans voted, and that's who won that MVP award. So I think that was pretty decent. He wasn't even expecting it, but it was good. I'm happy to see that VJ Edgecombe was able to take the MVP award from the Rising Stars game or whatnot. So I think that was really cool in itself. But let's put this in some scenarios, right? Because we're getting towards playoffs for um, NCAA, but let's look at how the NBA playoffs are going to play out. I honestly think that it's going to be interesting. I think the Sixers are going to probably move up from the sixth seed all the way up to maybe the fifth or fourth seed, and then they're gonna be solid at that fifth or fourth seed there, and they'll probably get to the second round and probably lose in the seventh in a game seven. I think that Detroit will probably go to three rounds and then get knocked out. I don't see in itself. I just don't see Detroit making it to the NBA Finals this year. I think that they're all hyped up. I think they're all just about the fluke and they're just going with the flow right now, which is good. But even if they did make it to the NBA Finals and prove me wrong, I think that they're going to be very, very shocked and surprised when they face a very healthy and talented OKC. I think it's also interesting too that the NBA is bringing back the Seattle SuperSonics, as well as they're adding another team. I think I don't even know what the actual name of the team is going to be, but I think it's the Las Vegas Gamblers. Is one of the names that I saw, and I heard that Shaq was in the front running for that team ownership. But I also seen something where LeBron was trying to become a owner of the team in Las Vegas as well. So there's a lot of that up in the air, and I think that's really good to add those teams there. But is it really going to be beneficial to have a team in Vegas, right? Yes, you have the Vegas Raiders and different things like that, but is it really beneficial? How is it helping the city in general? Like, how is it helping? Is it helping? Is it hurting? We all know that Vegas brings in its own money based off of the casinos and different things like that, and the tourists that's out there. So do they really need the sports entertainment to be there as well? Like, would it be nice? Would they get a sponsorship from the local casino? I mean, that'd be cool too. That's a take right there. Let's put that, like, which casino would really sponsor them? Will they get the money from the people that like to gamble, the sports bettors? Like, it's a lot to look at. It's a lot to think about, but it's a great idea overall. Uh, let's see what else. When we look at before we go any further with sports in general, but I think it's really cool. I think it's really cool to see that there was a cover for a possible Mighty Ducks 4. I'm a huge Mighty Ducks fan. And when I say that Mighty Ducks, I grew up watching. But to see that there's a final movie that possibly could be made, to just leave it all out there and kind of just go with the flow. And I really am excited to see this right here uh at least be put in play, right? And so when we look at things like this, it's just a little reminder of how we're supposed to be happy for the little things or whatnot. So when we look back at the sports in general, right? Let's look at Miami really fast, right? And let's see that when we look at Miami, how they traded Tyreek Hill and how this was after injury happened, right? So how do you trade, a star receiver after he got hurt? Like, yeah, he has the money for all of that stuff, but at the end of the day, like, you're his team. You're supposed to be there for him. You're supposed to back him up. And I think it's interesting that they kind of just threw him to the side and let him kind of figure it out on his own. But that's all right. Everybody, they have their own thing, way of doing things, and it's fine. But they definitely didn't take it easy on him. They just gave him the cold shoulder, and that's okay. But he has to look for his new home, and we'll see where his new home will be at once they start getting back into the flow of things. So take it or leave it right here is Steph Curry a top 5 player in the NBA today? I'm saying yes, he is a top 5 player in the NBA today. This is still considered the LeBron era, and under the LeBron era, more people want to be like Steph Curry than they do LeBron James. That is crazy. Like, if this is it was the Jordan era and everybody wanted to be like Joe or Jordan. It was the Kobe era and everybody wanted to be like Kobe. But it's LeBron era and everybody want to be like Steph Curry. That's crazy. Like, it's really weird. Like, in general, right? I think, mark my words on this, take it or leave it, but VJ Edgecombe will be one of the next rookies that is going to make the NBA better than what it actually is. Meaning, yes, he's already an all-star, but I think he's going to continue to play at a high caliber level, and he's going to be coming up like he's going to be at the all-star game just about every single year that he's playing. Mark my words. There's no fluke in his game. He's playing great basketball right now, and he's doing the unthinkable to help lift the Sixers to new heights, despite PG being out for 25 games, despite everything else happening with the health and on the team in general. But mark my words, VJ Edgecombe will be in the NBA All-Star game for years to come. If we're looking at legit title contenders, like I said already, the Pistons will be a title contender, but I really think that a legit title contender this season, I believe that OKC will win back to back. Back to back, OKC, back to back. That's just my take. The way they started the season, the way they've been playing, the way everything's been happening for them, I believe they are legit title contenders, and I think that they may win back to back NBA finals. I could be wrong, but I'll take it. Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody in the chat? Thank you for chiming in. Thank you for taking the time to check us out here on Unfiltered Sports, right? Because here on Unfiltered Sports, we give all the heat. So bring the heat. If your feelings get hurt, so be it. I could care less. But that's beside the point, right? Take it or leave it. And I see this in the chat already, but the Philadelphia 76ers need to get rid of Joel Embiid and rebuild around Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe. That is my take for the Philadelphia 76ers. They need to get rid of Joel Embiid and need to start focusing on rebuilding and trusting the process around VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey because they have something good going on with that backcourt duo right there. Telling you now, if they can get the right bigs to play with Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe and stay healthy, they're going to be a problem. They're going to be legit title contenders. They might even win an NBA Finals. First one in a long time. That's all I'm saying. And you know who's gonna be there to make it happen? Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe. And the people that's gonna be watching in the stands, it's gonna be Allen Iverson and everybody from that 2001 NBA Finals team. That's for sure. So, what do you think? What are your thoughts on coaches when they are, let's say, like your first year coach? So let's say your first year coach, and your record doesn't. Let's say your record really doesn't speak volume as a first year coach, right? So let's say your first year in the NBA as a coach, and you turn around and you're like, okay, I won 25% of the games, right? Out of 82 games, you won 25% of those games. Do you think you deserve a second chance, or should you be fired right away? Honestly, I think that people should get a second opportunity, a second chance. Like, it's your first year, you got to get, the feel of the environment, the team, and all of that stuff. So why would you, like? It depends also on the culture of your team. Does your team trust you? Like, it's a lot to look at, but I honestly think that uh, there will be a better opportunity for a second chance than to be fired right away. Ben is talking trash in the chat, but nobody cares about what Ben has to say because it doesn't matter what Ben has to say. His demographics for sports teams is just all over the place. This man is a Miami Dolphins fan, not even a true Miami Dolphin fan. He only like Dan Marino. Turn around and he's a Pittsburgh's Pirate fan, and then you turn around and he's a Golden State Warrior fan. But I bet you he's a LeBron fan as well. But that's beside the point. We don't associate ourselves with people like that, because you know what we call them here on Unfiltered Sports? We call those people bandwagoners. That's what we call them here on Unfiltered Sports, because that's exactly what he is, a bandwagoner. He just jumped from team to team when the team is doing good. Because guess what? I guarantee you, when OKC wins another NBA Finals, guess who he's going to be a fan of? OKC. So he's beside the point. Nobody got time for him. Like, it is what it is. But let's talk about how it's hockey season and nobody talk about hockey. Let's look back at the Flyers, because I'm a huge Philadelphia Flyers fan, right? And let's see how the Flyers been doing, because I just want to see how they doing overall. So they played on February 3rd and they won 4-2. So kudos to them. They played on February 5th and they lost 2-1. But now it's been like it looks like they don't play again until February 25th. So it gives them some time to recuperate and figure out what they're trying to do here, because it is crazy. Honestly, I think that's a great point right there. And we're gonna take it or leave it with that hot take right there in the chat. But Ron's opinion don't matter. I think Ben is legitimately a dog's basketball fan at heart. Ben is wearing a dog's basketball hoodie right now, but Ben's afraid to show it because he ain't even got a profile picture going on right now. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go dogs. Come on now. Let's hear it loud and proud, Ben. Let's go dogs. You know the crazy part about Ben is Ben even watched some of the game this past Sunday. That's the crazy part. Ben watched some of the game this past Sunday. I was surprised to see Ben in the chat, because Ben don't know what good basketball is anymore. But he got an opportunity to watch some good basketball. Man, I'm telling him, He need to be a Pittsburgh Penguins fan for hockey. If he's a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, he needs to be a Pittsburgh Penguin fan. But like I said, his basketball team is in California. His football team is down in Florida. His baseball team is in Pennsylvania. But I'm going to say his hockey team is probably like the Jersey Devils, maybe the New York Islanders. Like he might be a Red Wings fan. He might be a Chicago Blackhawks fan. That might be more like Ben, a Chicago Blackhawks fan. So you go from Florida to PA to Chicago to California. Now that's just one ugly triangle going on. Like his demographics is just crazy. But see, Ben is just, I don't know. Ben needs help. Ben was drinking something before he decided to even get on Unfiltered Sports and even think about saying anything, because all he can say is Steph Curry, Steph Curry. But if he was a true Golden State Warrior fan, he would know more than just Steph Curry and who played on Golden State before Steph Curry even got there. But I bet you don't even know that. If Ben was such a true basketball fan, he probably would know who played on the Seattle Supersonics. But he got Google on his side, and we can't even see his face right now, so we don't even know if he's looking anything up or not right now. So that's how we know Ben's not really a true sports fan right now. But it is what it is. We're gonna take it at that, and we're gonna leave it at that at the same time. Mark my words, and I'm gonna go back to VJ Edgecombe, but VJ Edgecombe is just that guy right now. Like he's just that guy for the Philadelphia 76ers. And I'm gonna put it as a take it. I'm taking it at that. He's gonna help carry them directly to the NBA Finals. Ben and Jerry probably over there making some Ben and Jerry ice cream right about now. That's for sure. That's what I'm talking about. I need some cheesecake ice cream. That's what I need. We're gonna take that too, and then we're gonna leave. That's what we're gonna do right there, right? But when we look at sports in general, it's not just basketball, it's not just football, it's not just baseball, it's not just hockey, it's not just soccer, right? When we look at sports in general, if you're the coach, of a team and you have a toxic player in the locker room, what do you do? If you have a toxic player on your team, no matter what sport it is, and you're the coach, better yet, you're the GM or the owner of this team, what do you do? What do you do? How do you handle that situation? Okay, you say bench them, right? But is benching them really going to solve the situation of them being in the locker room, causing trouble, wreaking havoc in the locker room, right? Because will they continue to do the same thing time and time again? Will a suspension help them? Will a fine help them? Better yet, will trading them actually help? But then you got to look at the contract. How much money is guaranteed and how much money you got to pay out of your pocket still for that toxic person? Because it's just interesting. Like, I seen the Sixers just pick up Cameron Payne again, but they got to pay him 1.75 million left off his contract, I believe, from the team he was playing at overseas. So they're gonna pay him 1.75 million plus whatever his contract is. So now he's going to be the primary ball handler behind Tyrese Maxey. So now you got Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and Cameron Payne. I mean, that's interesting. So I think it'll be interesting to see. But you know, think about what you could have did with They could have done a lot with Kyle Lowry and Gordon as well, but that's beside the point. But you get people like Ben Simmons. Again, he uses, in my interpretation is, he's using his mental health as an excuse to not play. I don't even know when the last time Ben Simmons actually played a game in the NBA. On top of that, he's out there being a pro fisher, and he's out there doing things instead of playing basketball. If you don't want to play basketball no more, my guy, just get up and go. You don't have to stay. Look at James Harden. No disrespect to James Harden, but I just think he's a cancer in the locker rooms, because when he don't get the ball, when stuff don't go his way, he'll stop showing up to practice on time. He'll stop showing up in general. He'll start going to social media. He'll stop performing in the games. And then what'll happen is he'll sit on the bench, stop asking to suit up, and then he'll get traded. And he'll play for 4 or 5 teams in one season before he actually sticks it out with a team to try to make a playoff run or whatever the case may be. And I think that's dumb. Like, you have talent, but you're wasting your talent because you want to cry. Talk to your agent, because that's what you need to do. Have your agent speak for you on your behalf so you don't do nothing stupid. This is true. The Sixers do love broken and beaten down players, because I don't know why they got Paul George, but broken down. Joel Embiid broken down. I mean, it is what it is, but it's very sad to see this happening. Very sad. But what do you do? How do you go out and recruit players to come play for your team? What do you say to them? Because there are a lot of good players out there. Let's put you in a position, you as the audience, let's put you as the audience in a position of being a scout or even a coach. And you got to go to those games and you got to watch the game and watch these players perform. But let's say you go to that game and you're supposed to be watching one superstar player, and you at that game watching that player, and he does horrible, horrible. But his teammate outshines him. What do you say to that player? And do you address his teammate who outperformed him and see if they may be a better fit for your team or not? Because after we get through this one, I got another topic right there. Listen, you'd be surprised. I'm saying this too, is that the Sixers are going to be like the 04-05 Pistons. They're going to surprise everyone and they're going to win in NBA Finals. That's what's going to happen. But that's beside the point, though. So it's like, the other thing too, right, is that if I was a scout or a coach and I had to go to these other games and watch these players, I'm looking at everybody on the court. I'm looking at who's doing what. I'm gonna look at stats. I'm gonna look at the hustle. Like, if you make a bad pass and it's a turnover, are you running back on defense and trying to get the ball back? Are you keeping your head held high, or you have positive vibes, energy on the floor? If you're on the bench, what does your body language say? How are you talking to your teammates? Are you encouraging your teammates? It's just a lot of that is what I would look at. And then I would talk to someone. I would talk to that player, say, hey, listen, you might not have had the best game of your career, but I see potential. Here's what we can do. Or we can flip it around and say, hey, it's probably right now is not going to be a good fit. Let's take another game because today was an off game for you. And then we come recoup and look at another game. But then I would talk to, a teammate of his and say, hey, I see that you outperformed this player. We were here actually looking at this player, but we see that, you could be beneficial as well to our organization, and how would you be able to bring them in and kind of allow them to work together in a sense? I think that would be interesting, you know, by not putting your own emotions and feelings into it, by actually just going by the facts and kind of going from there. And a lot of people really struggle with that too. And I think that's interesting as well. Um, but it is what it is. Sometimes you got to have that tough conversation with people in order for them to get through that little dry season that they're in, and then get better and get to that next level that you need them to be at. And I wholeheartedly agree. You'll never hear me agree with Ben a million and one times in unfiltered sports history here. But James Harden is a big baby, and I don't like him. So that's that. But it is what it is. He learned from LeBron James, so it is. It's okay. This era is just a bunch of big babies. That's all. I know we talked about this before, but do you think AAU travel teams are ruining how players are being scouted to play college sports in general? Because I personally believe that AAU has changed the game dramatically for sports. So we're going to see what happens with that. Like I said, it's going to be interesting to see all of that. But AAU, it definitely has changed the game. It's ruined sports. And I think that if we actually get colleges to come back to high school games and actually watch these high school games, I think that it will be a lot better overall for some of these high school teams, because there's a lot of talent still in these high school teams that can play, but they may not have the luxury to afford to play for a travel team, and it may be a little bit challenging for them to actually afford to play for a travel team or whatnot. But um, it's okay. It's not for everybody. But we got to make this equal and fair for everybody across the board. And this is why I think that AAU should strictly be nothing but the summer, and then leave everything else for the high schools to take into consideration. So it gives college coaches the opportunity to come to high schools and watch a lot of people and go to these AAU games and do the same exact thing. But see, the thing is that some of these coaches are only about the dollar, and they're going to try to get a dollar out of their players. Meaning, if a coach of a D1 college comes up to one of their players, the first thing he's going to do is try to figure out how he can get some money out of it. I guarantee you, if they're a decent coach, they're going to let their players know, hey, you just got this offer. Hey, this may be a good opportunity for you. Hey, I really think you should do this. Good job. And keep going from there. But again, it's not even just coaches, it's the parents. It is the parents and the fans of these youth games that ruin it for everyone. I've seen about 5 different videos over the course of the last week of fans, parents fighting the coaches, fighting the referees over a youth game. A youth game. It is just a game. You're fighting over it. If a referee says something off the wall to your child or your friend or whoever it is that's on the court playing and you didn't like it, be a human, be an adult, be the bigger person, and talk to that person after the game and say, hey, listen, during this point of the game, you said X, Y, and Z to this player right here. From the stands, it came across as you being disrespectful, or it came across as off the wall. And at the time, I wanted to come on the court and knock you out. But I'm here to let you know, like, this is what we heard from up here, and this is how we took it, and this is how we interpreted it. So, what was your meaning behind saying it this way? What was your thought process? Talk it out. Stop trying to fight people. Stop trying to hurt people. We're supposed to be building each other up, but instead we're tearing each other down. Sports is the universal language, and we need to use this platform for good. Even though we know that LeBron James sucks, we know that James Harden is a big baby. We know these things. We know that Golden State is on a downtrend where they got to start trusting the process and rebuilding. We know that the Lakers are on that same path right there. All these good name teams are on that path of a downhill trend, and some of these whack teams are on that uphill trend, and they're going to start winning. They're going to start getting their NBA championships out the way. So, it is what it is. But that's really all I got for you guys today. So I'm gonna give you the rest of your night back. I really appreciate you guys for joining in, for chatting with me, for keeping it real. But again, take it or leave it here on Unfiltered Sports. Bring the heat, bring the fire. That's what we want. If your feelings get hurt, then so be it. I don't care. Come back the next day, Thursday, same time, 7 o'clock. Be there, be square, meet me, Shaq Mac here. Go Dogs, and have a good night.
Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions? You looking for beard oils? But unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.